No celestial mirror, so we're not going to be able to get anything here. But let's have a quick trip into the temple before we carry on. Geos Gano became a whole session by himself. Wow. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Again, just think about Geos Gano. Even in like challenge runs, Geos Gano was just a nobody. Turned into a legitimate, tough boss battle. Where you have to think a lot. I mean, those statuses were just an absolute nightmare. It literally had every single status in the book. Pretty much. Other than Berserk that I can think of, it pretty much had everything. So, let's see what we got. That one. I should have the rest of these. Pretty sure. So I need to get Yojimbo. But I think I have all the others. There was a couple of chests here as well, I can recall. Well, at least one, I think. Once I've got enough gil, I'll go and get Yojimbo. I think it was like 125,000 was the bid that you make. I need to remember that. I need to go watch my own episode on that one again. I haven't had to pay for and get Yojimbo in years. Maybe the last time I did it was the actual LP in 2014. So it's been a very, very long time. I do remember the number 125,001 gil though. I think that's what you open the bidding with, and you bid that 3 times or something. And then you get the lowest price, and then you can get it for that price. Mega Elixir, that's not great. And Mega Phoenix, okay, fine. I did use 2 Mega Elixirs for that battle, at least getting 1 back I guess is not too bad. We got a Reflect Shield, which I doubt is going to be much use for anything, really. That sucks. Okay, so yeah, once I get Yojimbo, I can come back here and I'll be able to get Anima, which should be fun. But before that, I will head into the Omega Ruins and try to take down... I'm pretty sure the way it will work is I'll get to Ultima, and Ultima weapon will be on the very, very edge of what's possible at the levels that I'm at. And then I'll probably have to take a break and go somewhere else and try and get some more levels, do something different. Because I won't be able to continue on and defeat Omega. Omega's probably like Dark Aeon level. It already had 1 million HP in the PAL version of the game and the HD remaster of the game. So maybe it has 10 million now, who the hell knows. Okay. I'm glad I finally managed to get through that. That was long. Wow. Okay. At least the bonus now is that those sphere levels are going to really start to roll in now. Now I'll be able to make some legit progress. Or Unknown Provoke I think is nice. Omega Ruins also has a few places where I can get some more, well, a few more encounters where I can get some more level 3 key spheres, so that's important. I'll be able to do that too. Okay, so then, how shall we do this? I've got to make a bunch of armors here that's going to try and keep me protected. I feel like building Auron like a SOS tank armor, because if I stamina tablet him, he should be able to survive everything in the Omega Ruins. Because once he goes to 5,000 HP, he could have Protect, he could have Shell, he could have Haste, and there is no enemy that's going to do enough damage to take him down at that stage consistently. So I feel like doing that for him could be a good idea. So, let's begin. I think it's a no-brainer that Riku still has to probably be the character that has... Now that I think about it... What's the agility gap? 3450. Just thinking, should I make... I mean, if I can use... But then again, Riku's got Mix. and I'm going to need that for boss battles. So Riku has to stay in the front line and keep gaining sphere levels and stuff. I'm just thinking, should I make Tidus my my elemental protector? But I think it still has to be Riku, man. And why do I keep forgetting to? Yeah, I mean, I need something with Confuse and Berserk Proof on the same armor. It's kind of non-negotiable against against the Great Malboro if you wanna survive. Because if that provoke doesn't work, then you're kind of screwed. And we're gonna have to do monster capturing, all that kind of shit as well. So you're gonna need to survive, man. So let's start with Riku and make her Great Malboro proof. We've got the spirit as well that's going to cause problems, so she needs to be ready for that. Okay, here we go. Stone proof, Confuse proof, Berserk proof, and I guess again I should maybe just add auto med, right? Just thinking, I mean, here she could just protect herself against everything else, right? I can farm for a few more remedies, that's not the end of the world. But I'm just thinking that, or auto potion maybe, or I need to think carefully about this one. I've only got one SOS haste here. I feel like Auto Med would be good because she's going to be hit with statuses other than slow from Bad Breath, and in curing those I think she'll be able to cure slow too. So I'm going to go for this for now, and at least now I know that Riku is fully ready to go. She's on it. Now, so yeah, I had to use one more stone proof than I would have liked here. Right, Tidus. Let's have a look. I feel like for Tidus, if I at least made him poison proof, that would help, wouldn't it? So I could give him like a more attacking one that would make him dark proof, sleep proof, poison proof. I'm going to leave one slot open here. I think I'd like to have Berserk proof if I can. I'm going to try and steal some high pelo potions from the Halmers in the Omega Ruins. I'm going to try and do that. So this is a bit unorthodox. Again, it's not one that I normally really use, but I'm going to need some more return spheres. I don't know how I'm going to get those, but I'll need them eventually. Okay, so Auron is going to get an interesting armor here. I'm gonna not go with very much status protection for this one. This is gonna be his like ultra tank armor. Gonna go for that and just see what happens. He's already got stone proof, poison proof, zombie proof, sleep proof, zombie proof, confuse ward, death ward. Dark proof, death proof. That's an interesting one. I can add stone proof to this one, I think. I've already run out. I need two more. So I can add stone proof to this when I get a chance, which would also be good. And then I can add one more to it when I'm ready. So he's got enough variety that he should be okay. Now, one thing I'm also considering, one way in which the Omega Ruins is a little bit unique, is that there really isn't a save sphere for a long time, and we need to heal. Otherwise I'm going to have to do a lot of backwards and forwards. I don't want to just turn like no encounters off and then just run straight to Ultima, like that's not fun. So I'm going to try and treat it as if like I don't want to go back, and I don't have a no encounters thing until I literally get to Ultima. That's when I'll do it. So this is already like her perfect weapon. So I'm thinking give her the half MP cost Does this reflect in menu spells, I wonder? I'm going to quickly create another save here. I'm just going to create loads. That's one thing I want to check. I mean, I don't think... Are we going to ever have 1 MP cost? Is that even possible in this mod? Maybe it will be. I don't know, but... half MP cost. Let's just equip it and see what happens here. Lulu, Cactile Wizard, Ability, Lulu, Cura, 10. It still looks like it's going to cost her 10. Okay, so I just double checked to confirm, and unfortunately it doesn't work on menu spells. So that's one way in which I would have loved for it to be better, but half MP cost. Just wondering if I should still put it on anyway. I'm trying to think like who else could that benefit in any real way, and I can't think of anyone other than Lulu. I mean, again, Yuna has Holy, but I feel like she's just... it will take a while for her to get there. And Holy, even when you half the MP, is still so much that Flare, I think, in terms of MP cost is better, no? And she could learn double cast. So we'll give her those for now. She'll definitely need first strike because she's slow as shit. But that could be her weapon. What I was thinking beyond that is I'd like her to have something that breaks the MP limit. I'm going to have to use these eventually, and I think in Lulu's ultimate armor she'll have to be able to break the MP limit, I'm pretty sure. Now, that would help me in the healing department as well, because I'd be able to heal for longer through the menu. And she'll have a way to get MP back, I'm sure. So I feel like I need 100k in order to be able to buy Lulu a Tetra Shield or Tetra Bangle or whatever. So I'll probably take a little bit of time away here, and it won't be long. It'll probably be like 20 minutes, half an hour tops. I'll get myself some gil, and I need to steal some remedies before going in. You can't go into Omega Ruins without a lot of remedies, so I'll do that. So I'll get my item stocks back up, and then I will return. So I won't hack them in, just so you have a realistic idea of what I've needed to do, and I'll return fairly soon. My first run at the Omega Ruins. This session is going to be a very interesting one because the plan is to dive into Omega Ruins, but as you would have already seen from the Geoscano battle, the Omega Ruins is going to be probably far and away the most difficult area that we've encountered in the whole game, as it should be. So I'm trying my best not to take it lightly, and it's the kind of area where even in the original you could quite easily get game overs unless you were pretty experienced and you had the right preparations. So I don't want to kind of leap in there without having myself prepared. So one thing I did want was to try and have as many of the correct kind of, or at least close to correct armors and equipment as possible. So you'll see that I've got just over 100,000 gil here, and for me so far one of the most difficult things to do with post-game stuff early on is to try and farm gil when you're weak. So those of you guys that would have followed the LP, or that you have just general Final Fantasy X knowledge, you will know that one of the best ways to make gil early on in the game is to fight mimics in the Omega Ruins with a Gillionaire weapon. So you could have, for example, Riku's Celestial weapon, and that would allow you to basically earn gil pretty quickly. You'd get 100,000 gil every time you defeated a mimic, and that's one way to do it. But obviously now we're playing the Pbirdman mod, and the Omega Ruins is a dangerous place to be hanging around, and there's a good chance the mimics are going to be quite difficult to beat. You don't know which variant you're going to get. They could cause you game overs. It might be a slog to defeat them, and therefore it might not be worth the time in terms of gil that you're spending. So I had a chat with Pbirdman about this, and I was like, so dude, how would you recommend players to be earning gil at the start of the game? And we discussed a few things that we could do to make early gil farming a little bit easier, because obviously once you get powerful, gil farming becomes way easier, but when you're at these kind of near end game level stats, getting a few 100,000 gil to get these like 4-slot armors and 4-slot equipment, trying to do some like bribing in order to get some items that you need, it's not easy. So for that reason, I had a chat, and Pbirdman has actually made a tweak, and I will explain what that is. You will notice that for Kimari, I now have a weapon called Prospector. And basically what he decided to do was to change the rewards that you get in the Omega Ruins chess game. So I did that at the very start of the last session, and I opened up to, I think, 8 chests, I believe. And now basically Pbirdman has changed things around so that within the first 10 chests, I don't know the exact placement just yet, I'll annotate it on screen, and it might be different in the release version, but in the first 10 chests, you will be getting a weapon like this for Kimari. So basically Kieron R is something that's quite difficult to get in the Pbirdman mod. It's a very, like, you have to be quite far into the post game to be able to get it. Obviously maxing Riku's Celestial Weapon is not really an option at this stage, it's too early for that, because we don't have the Celestial Mirror because of the new restrictions that Pbirdman has put on. So Kieron R is a tough thing to get. So in order to make life easier, he's allowed you to get a Kieron R weapon from the chests in the Omega Ruins. So that is one change. I've hacked this weapon in because I've already done the game, but I'll have a list annotated here of what you can get from the Omega Ruins chess game now. You don't need all 12 to get like all the amazing stuff, but I think you need about 8 or 9 of them at least in order to get some really useful things. So this is the most useful one of them all, and there is a second thing that he's put in for now, which I'm not sure is a bit too OP, but that's up to him. He can decide for the final release if it's there. I didn't personally put it in because I felt like it might be a little bit OP. I'll play without it, but for you guys it might be there. He's put in a weapon that gives, he's put in an armor that gives Lulu break HP limit and break MP limit. It's only a 2-slot, so you can't add anything else to it, but he's got something like that, and I think you have to open maybe 10 chests or 11 chests in order to get that one. So they're the 2 major changes that will be happening to the Omega Ruin spheres, and this one is something that I can definitely use in the Omega Ruins. Now another thing he's done is to change the amount of gil that you can get from the Omega Ruins fiends to make it easier to pilfer gil. So for me, I'll show you guys this before I continue. The way that I've been getting gil at this very early stage of the post game has been to go to like an area like, let's say, Inside Sin or Omega Ruins, play on like frame limited disabled mode, so I'm playing at like ×3, ×4 speed, and basically use Pilfer Gil with Riku and then flee with Tidus and just keep doing that repeatedly. So let's have a quick look at this. Because it's running in normal speed, it's going to seem very slow now, but imagine this in ×4 speed and you can get Gil fairly quickly. So Riku will go first, and she can Pilfer Gil. 862. So Pbirdman's giving you more Gil than normal, and then I flee. So imagine in ×4 speed, this all literally takes like 2 or 3 seconds to do. So then you just run around again until the next one, and within maybe about 10 minutes of this like speedy sort of pilfering Gil, you'll be able to get like, you know, maybe 50,000 Gil, and you can definitely make a lot of progress with Gil farming with that sort of stuff. So unfortunately, twice in a row I've encountered one of the enemies that gives the least amount of Gil here. I just want to encounter one of the ones that gives a lot of Gil, and you'll be able to see. Okay. These ones aren't that great either, but of course remember, always got to come here with first strike. 1337, much better.
Live and let live.
So literally at ×4 speed you'll be making about maybe 2, 3, 4,000 Gil per minute, and so therefore maybe in like literally about half an hour you'll be able to get enough Gil to do what you need. I mean, at the end of the day, when you get to the post game of any JRPG, you are going to need to do some farming. So farming is just not something you can escape, and that's why of course the Pbirdman mod is no exception. You will be needing to do some farming because we got some very difficult battles ahead, and you know, stat maxing, all of that kind of stuff, equipment farming, item farming. These are not things that you're going to be able to magically bypass in the Pbirdman mod, so you've got to be very careful with that sort of stuff. Okay, so when it comes to making Gil, that's method 1. That is literally the easiest method in terms of it requires absolutely no combat. But in terms of like gil per minute, it's not the best. But I guess for fairly low levels, it's not the worst idea in the world. But if for some reason you can't like speed up the game, you can't play on like ×3, ×4 speed, then it's going to be a pretty slow method for you, and it's probably not going to work too great. So what I would do is, as a secondary sort of method, is have Kimari with the Gillionaire weapon, and basically we're gonna eject mimics from battle in order to get easy wins. So make sure Auron's got a full overdrive and shooting star, and this is gonna be like a quick 100,000 kill basically. So let's do it. So again, I'm not going to fight anything specifically in the Omega Ruins yet, because I want to do that as like a first time legitimate experience as I'm trying to make my way through. Great Malbro. So in any situation where you don't get a mimic, you can just still pill for gil. Almost 1,500.
Won't go so easy on you next time.
Easy. So just hang around the save sphere and you won't ever have MP problems either. Again, for you guys, I recommend doing this all in like, at least set your frame limiter up so it's like ×2 or ×3 speed. You don't need to play it on like normal speed for all of this stuff.
I'll be right back.
But usually, the Zorus, the lizard here, is quite a common encounter, so hopefully before too long you're going to encounter one. And when you do, hopefully you'll be able to get the Mimic to pop. Just remember to save regularly, even when you're doing this stuff. Like, literally anything can happen at any time, so just do not take any liberties in the Omega Ruins, like, ever. It's like the #1 rule of Omega Ruins. Just make sure, have a no encounters weapon, so if you're deep into the Omega Ruins for whatever reason and you're worried, like, come back and save. It's just try your best not to lose any big progress here. Just don't do it. Obviously, once you get powerful enough to kill mimics easily and that kind of stuff, then farming gil is going to be a breeze. When you're stat maxing, you're going to make a lot of gil, so then gil's pretty much never going to be a problem. It's only an issue at this very early stage of the game. So let's see if we can trigger our first mimic. Here we go. Okay. So let's see. Again, not going to actually fight it here. I'm just going to... I think I can use the ejector shot. That would be easier. Alright, let's get it out. Oh, it's immune to eject. Oh, I can't do it. Shit. Well, that ain't good. Obviously, I don't know what to expect from the Mimic, so... I really thought you could eject it. Heavenly Strike. Ooh. Well, I guess we can kick into the Omega Ruin session a bit earlier than expected. I will fight this thing now. Damn, son. Okay. We ain't going to play around here. That's not a lot of damage. And yeah. A lot of Heavenly Strike happening. And Titus's haste is gone already? That's horrible. I need to try and get rid of this guy. Quick. I could literally get game over from this first battle. Because I didn't set my armors up and weapons up and all that kind of stuff. But it should be one hit away from death. Just leave me with that bloody Mimic. Oh, still not dead. Got poison though. Still alive. And this thing's just doing Heavenly Strike. Okay. Ah. Fucker's agile as well, and that's a critical hit. Oof. Nasty, nasty. I think Kimari's in haste, right? Okay. And he's got Gil in there too, so let's get back into this. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can make 100,000 gil from this, it's still going to be quicker than pilfering gil, basically. So it's still worth doing. It's probably still the quickest method for lower level characters, but not being able to eject is a bit crap, unfortunately. Okay, let's see if we can slow this bastard. Of course it's immune. Damn it. Let's get Lulu in. I remember making her... Yeah, she got a really badass weapon now. Have some of that. What? Oh, this is the one with the super magic defense. Shit. Well, that ain't good. 4,000. That's good. Yeah, it's going to have a lot of HP. And it's not seeming to use much more. I mean, if it's only Heavenly Strike, it's going to kill us one at a time, so it's not the end of the world. But it has 0 defense, so it's not too bad. But obviously, Heavenly Strike has delay, so it's a problematic move. But a lot of HP. There you go. But Kimari wasn't in the party, so I think I only make 50,000 now. I forgot about that. It's been so long again since I've had to do any of this stuff. It's literally been 6 years, so I'll get back into it. But there you go, 50,000 gil and some star grenades. So that is another way to make your gil. Like I say, unfortunately, I really thought eject would work, but I don't know if they've always been immune to eject. I don't think they were, but that's just how it goes. So I've got to be careful. I will probably fight one more mimic and make sure I get 100,000 gil this time, so I can go get a couple of weapons. Okay, here we go. Unfortunately, again for me, I can't speed it up because it risks my recording too much. Just too many potential issues. So again, anything other than the mimic right now, I'm just gonna run. Just pilfer gil and run. At the moment, we're literally just focused on.
Go so easy on you next time.
We're focused on money making. If I can do if I can get a couple more mimics, there's a good bribe that I can do as well. Pbirdman, I asked Pbirdman how to get return spheres, and apparently you can bribe black elements in order to get them. Let's pilfer some gil, get some karma in return. Let's see how damaging this karma is. Okay, that's fine. What? Oh man, he's made it so you can't escape from Master Tumbri's. Shit. Let's see if it's immune to eject as well. It's immune to. I think right now, basically what you should do is if you encounter a Master Tumbri while you're trying to farm, just reset. That's why you should save regularly. So I ain't got time for this. I'm not going to fight this thing right now. Okay, here we go. It's the second Zorus I've encountered in this session. Good. Okay, this is a different one. Can we just eject something for once? There we go. That's better. Meteor Strike. Ooh, nice. So he's given them all of the Aeon abilities, which is kind of cool. Now this one probably has a high defense. Yeah, okay. So let's bring Lulu into the fray. How shall we do this?
Allow me.
Damn, close enough. That 27 MP flare. Only 2,000 even from that. That's a bit shit. So can we armor break this thing? I'm going to speed myself up here. So these ones have always been designed to be a bit tanky, so it kind of makes sense. Get my piercing weapon out, but it's very well armored. Again, this is still quicker than Pilfer Gill method, especially if you remember to use Kieron R. $15's not too bad, actually. Might end up working before Kieron R does. Immune. Fine. Armor break. Immune to armor break as well. So how the hell do you damage this thing? Let's check shadow gems. That's always a good way to do it as well. We've got to win somehow. Okay, shadow gems work. That's good. That is good. I want to try something like zombie attack as well. Fine, just kill Riku. Skill, zombie attack, immune. Okay, we're getting there. They seem to be immune to a lot of things. Well, almost everything. Yeah, whatever. Shouldn't be too much to go before we kill it. I'm really surprised at how little damage Flare did, honestly. Right, we should be able to get it on the next turn. And hopefully bag 100,000 gil. Excellent, okay. Just remember, for the love of God, every single time after you do this and you get a Hall of Gillen, just please save. Please save. So yeah, once you get the mimics involved, it's really not too bad. You should be able to get there. I'd say like a maximum, no matter what method you're using, in about an hour or so, you should have maximum an hour or so, you should have hundreds of thousands of gil to spend. So I'd say that's the best way to do it. Yeah, so I'll go for one more to be safe. You can do this as much as you like. Again, this is one of those things where if you want to farm for a few million gil and just make some like auto haste armors and shit, you can go ahead and do that if you like. But I'm not gonna go nuts on it personally. I feel like I'm gonna need stuff like auto haste once I get to like Omega weapon level. It's gonna be absolutely guaranteed that I'd need it anyway. So we'll save it for that. Alright, here we go. Third mimic, and this is the third variation. This is the flyer one, I think. Right? Okay. Let me haste myself up again. It's amazing how slow Auron is once again, and that's why that first strike is just would have been so important. Just gonna use shadow gems again. Ugh, that little shit has just got good evasion, always. And it's immune to gravity damage, which is just annoying. It should be gone soon, thanks to Auron. Sorry, no. Reject a shot. Bye-bye. Right, let's see this first attack. Sonic Wings. Nice. Ooh, 2,400. That's a powerful Sonic Wings. I'm spamming the Shadow Gems a bit here for speed. But if you want to grind out a little bit more, you're welcome to. 5,000. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's get Kimari in. He's not going to die from Sonic Wings. Oof. Ultra high defense. Probably 255. How's your magic defense? Not great is the answer. There you go. Each of them tend to have at least one weakness, but the one before was quite difficult. It had very high defense and magic defense. So there you go. Okay. So that's 370,000 gil in how long? Like half an hour, I think. Maybe less. Not too bad at all. So what I would do is I will save here again, of course. But do I have Bribe? I don't even remember. Bribe is... I haven't checked it for a long time. Again, I can't remember the last time I used Bribe. Ability, Riku... She does have Bribe. Okay. Basically now I want to encounter some black... Are they black elements or dark elements? Okay, my friends. So we are at the Cavern of the Stolen Faith. And the reason I'm here is because I want to do a bit of bribing. Now, one thing that Pbirdman has taught me, which is really interesting and something that I learned for the first time in this playthrough, is that whenever you see talk of bribing in any guide that you would have seen online, it's highly likely that the number that they give you is 20 times the Fiend's maximum HP. And that's always been my rule of thumb. That's what I teach people, and that's how I play the game. And I asked Pbirdman, I was like, look, I need to get some return spheres, because I want to have first right weapons for everybody, and it's getting to that stage of the game where it's kind of necessary, and maybe I can move people around the sphere grid a bit more easy as well. So how do I do it? And he said you bribe the dark element. Is it black element? I always mix them up. Black element, dark element. It's the one in the sunken cave. And he told me that you bribe it 21,000 gil, and I was like, wait a minute, that's only 10 times the maximum HP. And it turns out that apparently the way the game's bribe mechanics works, the stats that Pbirdman was able to dig out from the actual game / the Ultimania and that kind of stuff is rather interesting, and the stats that I wasn't personally aware of. So let's dig into it. There is different variances of like odds of success depending on whether you bribe 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, or 25 times the HP. So if you bribe only 10 times the maximum HP, there's a 39 to 64% chance of success. If you bribe 20 times, there's a 55 to 88% chance. 20 times is 68 to 110% chance, and 25 times HP is an 80 to 126% chance. So based on these figures, basically, I think the important takeaway here is that even if you only bribe 10 times the maximum HP, there is still a 40 to 65% chance of success, which is pretty good. So the number that's always touted, which is 20, is obviously it has a much higher rate of success, so it's 70 to 110, so it's close to an average of about 90% success. But if you don't mind giving it a few extra turns, you can save yourself a lot of money by just going with 10 times. But let's see in action, because I'm curious as well. I've never bribed something 10 times its maximum HP before. But hey, it's going to save you a lot of gil, especially for the more expensive bribes that you might be doing. So let's get the team, let's get the squad. Thankfully this area at this stage shouldn't hopefully be like a hugely difficult game over sort of area. So Riku will have plenty of chances to bribe in any given battle. But of course, I was going to say we have to play till we trigger the dark elements. I thought we got it on this one.
Live and let live.
So I'm going to have to keep escaping until I get the dark element encounter with the Nidhogg, and we'll go from there. Okay, second encounter, beautiful. Okay, alright, here we go. So I think they have 2,160 HP, so 21,600 is what I need to bribe it.
Take it. Leave us alone, okay?
And hopefully we get some return spheres for our troubles. So So unlikely you're going to get the first time. Is it me or did Riku's one fail? For God's sake. Yeah, I think Riku failed. So yeah, you don't need to give any more gil after this, just one every time, and hopefully it works. Yeah, Riku's one failed. I still disagree with that mechanic. Haste, protect, shell, all that stuff, it should work every time. Thank you, Oren. Excellent, okay, there we go. Very good. Should I bribe the second one? Nah, let's get out of here and see what we get.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Return sphere 1. There you go. Okay. So that's how you can farm for return spheres. Other ways are to get it as a rare drop. So if you're powerful enough to kill certain enemies very quickly, so I think it's Dark Element. I think it's the element in the Omega Ruins that gives it as a rare drop. I'll annotate it if I'm wrong. And also the Barbatos, I believe, gives it as a rare drop as well. So if you can beat those guys quickly, that might be a better method, but I think bribing these guys for 21,600 gil is not too bad, I guess. So that's something you can definitely do. There we go. Okay. Let's see how many we get now. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's one return sphere at a time, but maybe there's a variant and you can get multiple ones. Let's see. Oh, I got 4. Okay, that's brilliant. Ooh. So yes, as is always the case with bribing, there's not. I believe it's not a fixed number. There is some variance in the amount that you can get, and you saw a perfect example there. I think as a result, I'll probably aim for one more, just so I could have 2 first strikes if I wanted them. Now, I mean, I'd love half MP cost here as well, but it's not realistic. I'm just going to go for first strike for Oren, so that he's finally there as well. So he's ready to roll. And for Tidus, I'm probably going to give his Arc Sword a first strike as well. Otherwise I'd have to build him something from scratch. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go in for one more set of return spheres and we'll go from there. I think it's definitely the best way to get him. Maybe if you can kill like Barbatos in one hit or something and you have it in the monster arena, then maybe, but then in the monster arena you could just bribe this thing. It's still quicker. This is the best way to do it. And they're a fairly common encounter here, so it shouldn't take long for you to run into some. And you can bribe them 2 at a time as well, remember.
Live and let live.
But Oren also having first strike now is just huge. Because that way, if I have my tank Oren armor and my elemental, sorry, not elemental, status protection armor, I can always switch them before anything pops off. So that could be very, very useful.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
I mean, you can't reasonably expect to get too far into the postgame without having 3 people that have a first strike. You just have to have it. Okay, after another successful set of bribes, how many do I have? 3 this time. Okay, fine. That's still enough for another first strike weapon. Now, do I do it on this one? I think I'm probably just going to use it on this one. Yeah. And this can be Tidus's primary weapon for now. Again, these aren't perfect, but I think these are going to be good enough for like the next little segment of the post-game that we're going to be tackling. So I'm kind of happy with it. Now, where are we at? I'd like one more for Lulu, just so that I have her pretty much kind of ultimate-esque weapon for this stage of the game. And I've already got 2, so I'm pretty close. So we'll try and encounter one more set. And if I can get 3 more, at least that'll leave me like 1 or 2 spare, hopefully, for sphere grid use as well. And then I should be free to almost launch into Omega Ruins. And probably spend a good,
Live and let live.
depending on ultimate weapon, probably spend like 5 hours in there, 6 hours, I don't know, maybe more, who knows. Because once I'm there, I'm not going to be running from encounters and all that kind of stuff. We're going to properly like go in, and I'm not going to allow myself to save until I get to Omega, except for maybe save states if the session takes too long. So we'll see.
Live and let live.
But the 10 times HP thing is working beautifully. So that is my new advice. So advice that I am improving on after my 2014 walkthrough. Okay, my friends, so I took a little bit of time out and I decided to farm some important things that I know will be useful to me in the Omega Ruins. So Shadow Gems was one of those things. I farmed some of those. I wanted to get a healthy stock of healing waters back, so I did some of that. In the process, I got a lot of musks, and therefore I had enough to get a confuse proof. So I made some modifications to some armors, and for Oren, this one I added stone proof to this, and I'm planning to add berserk proof when I get the chance. So if he can protect against death, petrification, and berserk, I think that's a pretty epic status armor for him. So that's good. So he's now pretty much as ready as he's going to be. He's looking good. And because he's got first strike, I can choose between having this one, or potentially this one, or obviously the tank armor. So that's good. For Lulu, I gave her the first strike, so she now has her... I mean, this is pretty perfect for her. Armor-wise, I'm going to do something here, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute. For Titus, he got the confuse proof, so this is like his bad breath armor. So at least I have one person with confuse proof. I have one person with confuse and berserk proof. So Riku is completely immune to the effects of bad breath apart from slow. And Oren can kind of flip-flop in between. And once he gets berserk proof, he'll be pretty safe as well. Even if he gets confused, that shouldn't be too difficult to knock him out of. So Waka is the guy that doesn't have the best sort of weapon in the world. I guess I can give him a turnover now. That can help. And he'll have to make do with the armors that he has. We'll have to see as time goes on. I mean, this one is decent. It's not terrible, so he can manage. And Kimari has got, as long as everyone has petrification protection as a minimum, I think he can kind of manage. And he's got the Gillionaire weapon. So that's the kind of situation that we find ourselves in. But the final thing I want to do is, the plan is to try and get through without going back to the save sphere and without skipping encounters. So once again, MP is going to start to become a factor. So what I wanted to do was basically, I feel like for Yuna and wait a minute, did I sort these? I must have got some new stuff. For Yuna and Lulu, their ultimate armors are probably going to need to have break MP limit. So I am going to give them the break MP limit, man. They're going to each have an armor that has that. So we'll see. I actually didn't check how much our MP goes up to. I'd be curious to know. Hopefully it's at least like 300, 350, so that it's kind of worth it at the moment. 302. Okay, we've got 302 and 214. Eh, not great. But I mean, it's going to become relevant eventually. So when these guys are not on the front line and they're healing, I think that could definitely be useful. Yeah, I was making moves along here to try and get her Aeon some more power and HP. So let's have a little look along here. This is Kimari's group, right? Yeah, so the plan for Titus was to pick up some more stuff while he's here, and then head to start to head towards Oren's grid. Luck. I think I'll go as... Just trying to think. Because there's a little bit of extra MP here, basically I think I'll go as far as this node. And once I do this, then I'll start to head back and move back towards... okay, hold on. I think he needs like another friend sphere or something in order to get back out. And he does have a friend sphere, so we could manage. I think we'll be okay. Riku was... Okay, we're going to keep moving Orin along Titus' grid here. These little agility increases will be welcome as well. Orin knowing Flea is also going to be big, so once I bring him up to here, I just wanted him to know Cheer as well. And I think once I get to the start, the absolute start of Titus' grid, then, ooh, Lancet. He's not too far from Lancet, you know. I could teach him Lancet. That could be useful too. Yeah, okay. It's starting to come together in my mind about what I could do here. I think I'm going to have to start using some friend spheres and that sort of thing to really move people around. I'm going to keep these guys on the physical path, so because Walker's blocked here, I'm going to move him there. I wanted him to go onto Orin / Titus' grid anyway. I'm just thinking, Walker's got Osmos anyway, so I don't think I need to take him down all the way to Lancet. Do I need him for Cheer? How far away am I? Ah, he's not too far from Haste either. Okay, fine. More strength for Kimmy. 44, that's not too bad. And I guess Lulu's in a bit of a weird space at the moment. I need to kind of get her out of this bit eventually. But more MP is nice, and so is more agility. But I need to move her onto like Riku or Yuna's grid or something like that. So I think I gave up the opportunity to break into Lulu's grid. Okay, I'm gonna move Lulu here and go on like a reverse path where she could get some of Riku's agility and some of her abilities, and then start to get some white magic abilities to enhance as well. So really going to start shifting and moving around here. I'm going to use my final level 3 keysphere on this at the moment, and should be able to get some quick HP and some much needed agility as she's moving along here. So that could be good. Alright, some serious moves are going to be made soon. I have to wait for like a friend sphere or something to make any more progress, I think, from here. Because I don't want to move Riku over to Lulu's grid here. If I get a level 3 key sphere, it would have been nice to move her over here onto this grid and get up to Lancet, but we'll have to see. I'll keep it as it is for now. Okay. So, I am heading to the Omega Ruins, and we're going to give that a good old run and see how far we get. I probably had to dedicate like a large chunk of an episode, or maybe even an entire episode, to all the preparations, because of course there's always a tutorial element to these kind of things as well. So for people playing through the mod themselves, they'll be needing tips on how to prepare and the kind of things that I've been doing. So hopefully some of that stuff will have been helpful to you. I think I'm going to go with like status protection as a priority. I don't know what else I could want for these, so I'm just going to have break MP limit for now. Get rid of no encounters. Okay, so putting my save here. And the goal, first of all, is not to try and really unlock like all of the stuff here. There's like the glyph and all that kind of stuff. I'm literally going to make a straight run towards Ultima. And I'm not going to skip any encounters, and we're going to see how we do. So this will be the first time I'm seriously fighting the Omega Ruins enemies. And we start with an annoying, but hopefully not horrible encounter. See, now we're going to really start to notice how underpowered Waka is. I still haven't got attack reels, I forgot about that. Need to take this thing out quick. If even Waka's missing, then we're in trouble. But everyone's got stone proof, so hopefully I'll be okay. Unfortunately, their magic defense is really good as well, so let's see if some of the old tricks are going to work. Obviously, back in the day, things like sleeping powders used to be useful, but okay, that's not bad. And now I can do a bit of this. Well, that's one way to hit it. I think... oh man. I think the regular attack dispels haste. That's really bad. That is really, really bad. It's just this thing, I can't hit it, and it's strong against magic, so it's just like a doubly shit situation. What about poison? It healed from poison, oh my god. Ooh-wee. It's a hell of a start. That is a problem. Let's see if I can try and put him to sleep again. I didn't catch if the lizards were immune. Just missed. This is really nasty. To get the hit in on the floating death, I really need to put them to sleep. There you go. That's better. Oh, it woke up before I got a chance to hit it. Bad, bad start. The fact that Waka can't even hit it is just atrocious. Okay, that's something. I'm gonna go for a flare here. I just want to see how much damage it's gonna do. Magic plus 20 as well. Ugh, 2000, it's not enough. Critical hit. At least he's countering everything, so his weapon is really useful in that sense. Waka not taking no shit. But I really got to take this floating death down. It healed from poison, man. It's a nasty start. But of course, this battle straight away from the start is a great example of why petrification protection is just absolutely essential. Also med. Come on, Waka, finish it. Oh my god, these things have too much HP. That's like over 10k. Oof. I'm in major trouble now. I think it's a game over from the first encounter. Yeah. Yeah, I really wasn't anticipating the floating death to survive that one. And it hit back with the most mean move that it had. God damn it. But you're seeing already just how difficult it is. I hit it with a 5,000 Auron hit. Waka hit it. Lulu hit it. And it was still alive. So, you are seeing. I did tell Pbirdman, I said make sure the Omega Ruins is a tough area. It needs to be a tough area. Okay. This is actually a good opportunity for me to show you something. It was on my mind as soon as the battle started. I was like, I'll do it after the battle's done. So, let me show you something. So it's a chance for me to reload the save as well. So, you're all curious about fantasy potions. So, let's have a look. You cannot use them under like normal sort of circumstances. But if you have the use ability... says a potion crafted from the dead. So, let's just heal someone. I'm going to reload this save, but just to show you what it can do. 4,800 is how much Riku healed for. What about Titus? $4,800. And what about Auron? 2,100. So just to check here, Riku used it on herself. Yeah. So as you can see, the person being healed, so the amount that gets healed depends on who you are healing. So as you can see, it's working differently for everyone. 3,450. So basically, fantasy potions heal you based on the number of enemies that you've taken out in the game. So that is why Auron is getting the best healing out of everyone. And there is one other neat feature that I think needs to be mentioned about fantasy potions, and a reason why potentially they could become extremely important in the future. So you saw that Auron healed for 4,800, but basically there is no cap on the amount of healing that you can do with fantasy potions. So technically, if you get far enough along in the game and you've killed enough enemies, and you had, let's say you decide to go for a break HP limit sort of setup, you could heal for 100,000 HP with a single turn with a fantasy potion if you have the break damage limit ability on your weapon. So basically that's why fantasy potions are a bit interesting compared to all others, because they can break the damage limit when you heal as well. So that's what fantasy potions do, just in case you were curious. They're a pretty niche item, and they're going to increase in usefulness like over time. So right now there's not much use for them, and I only have 7 of them anyway. But we could have like a potential battle in the future where maybe I need to use them more seriously. So we'll have to see in the future. So they're not like the most unique, incredible, amazing item you've ever seen, but it's just something new that Pbirdman added that might have an interesting use at some point in your playthrough. So that's the deal with fantasy potions for now, unless he makes some further tweaks to them. Okay, Varuna. This guy was an absolute bag of tricks back in the day. He used to be able to do a lot of things. Let's see what you can steal. Okay, nice. So because he's got the Arc Sword full time now, I can use a lot more Hasker and that sort of stuff. Okay. I remember this thing having a lot of HP, so I can swap Yuna in to have a look at stuff here. Cast elemental magics. Beware, it can also use ugly magic. Although a spell spinner Don't underestimate its physical attack. That's interesting. It never used to have a physical attack, right? Okay. Magic break possible? No. Okay, it's not having that. Hit and run. Oh. Are you kidding me? What the actual fuck? He's using slice and dice. Oh my goodness. And then what, he gets an attack afterwards? Pbirdman, what the hell? That's madness. I can't deal with that. I wonder if it uses it under certain conditions or something. But I barely did anything. Whoa. That's serious. Thank God Riku was in haste, otherwise it was game over. Again, by 2 battles, 2 game overs in the Omega Ruins. I might not even be ready for this place. He might have made this like a next tier of place. I don't know. Look at him go. I need to kind of try and catch up here, but look at these turns. It's a major, major problem. I'm going to try and get my tank bracer on here. But if you use this hit and run too many times, then you can't win anyway. I just changed off his death-proof armor. This is a mess. I'll probably have to farm for Mega Phoenixes as well before I come back. God damn. I'm not going to use the Mega Phoenix this early. Now I'm guessing it's probably immune to slow, which is a problem. But any slow character at the moment is just in grave danger. Let's just see what happens with a bit of reflect. Hit and run is just too much, man. 2,800. I think he's going to have to tone that down a little bit, surely. 6 hits of that is like, what, 18,000 physical attack? God damn. I've never seen anything like that. I can't even get a foothold in the spell right now. Try and dispel. Dispel missed. So I couldn't dispel haste. Oof. Am I really gonna like go down the hardcore buffing route here? Because I mean, with hit and run, unless I've got like double HP and protect on everybody, I don't think that's working too well. I wonder if I can provoke this guy. That might be a good idea. I'm going to use a stamina tablet. I need to get some work in here. Does this own haste wear off, by the way? I think it does. It's like 5 turns for this guy as well. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's hate. Maybe that's why Dispel missed. I might not have realized that. I just want to see how much damage one of these spells reflected back does. Just crazy damage. I should have stolen some Candles of Life before coming here as well.
It's gonna hurt.
Let's see if it's going to work for any of these. Immune to all, unsurprisingly. How about zombie attack? You like a bit of that? Immune to zombie. Seems to be immune to pretty much everything I've thrown at it so far. Immune to slow as well. And it casts Kieron R on itself, thank you. Nice 5,000 boost there. Wow. It used to be a bag of tricks before, and it still is now. I'm gonna...
Is it just me, or does he look rough?
Yeah, it's one of Riku's unique lines in the situation. Reflect that back. Oh, it's immune to reflect, so I can't stop it from healing itself? That's some bullshit. Fine. Riku's got reflect, so I can't haste her at the moment unless I use a chocobo feather. Oh, it doesn't charge up for Emblem of Fate anymore. What a bastard. Yeah, Varun has become literally like a storyline, like a late game storyline boss battle or something. God damn. Riku is very fortunate to survive that. But with stuff like double HP, I'm just going to have to start using that stuff a lot more now. And a lot more of my own overdrives and stuff. But we're going to be getting a lot of AP, so we've got to remember that. So hopefully within like an hour or two's time I'm going to be a bit stronger already. Yeah, so as you can see, I mean, you might be watching me in the Omega Ruins for a few weeks here at this rate. There you go. So reflect is definitely useful. That's something. How are we doing in terms of HP? Are we wearing this thing down at all? 22,000. That's not bad. Got to try and get everyone a turn here because this is important. Oh, what? Don't give me that shit. I want to see if he can tank the potential hit and run. Here we go. This is interesting. Ah, so hit and run doesn't... Oh, you can't stop it. It's ridiculous. I mean, if it does hit and run a second time, I'm fucked. So I still have to use Auron, I think, here. Hit and run is just really, really deadly. Mega death. I think Pbird's gone a bit nuts with this one. So it's the second game over here. Wow. Okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm learning here, because if I keep Auron's death-proof armor on at all times, that means he can survive, so it's fine. I have to give Auron double HP, and then he can pretty much go toe-to-toe with this guy. And reflect, I think. That'll help. So he's definitely brought the Omega Ruins up to a level that it's never been at before. It's like... this is like... I mean, that Varuna battle, that's like a high-level... High-level no sphere grid kind of difficulty. That's what it's feeling like. So I've got to keep this around. We'll get the hang of it. I mean, obviously, as I'm learning these encounters, I feel like there's going to be a lot of, like, I might make some progress, like win 3 or 4 battles and then get sent back again. Good old Zorus. How I've missed you. If this thing gives me a game over as well, then I need to quit. That's a whole different story. This thing cannot and should not be able to defeat me. but only 1,500 damage there. Which is pants. Honestly, I think this thing is just so... It's not worth it. It doesn't give you a lot of AP. It doesn't give you much of anything. So I wonder if ejector shot is a good idea for this one. But I'm just trying to think of like MP efficient ways to kill things like these, but I don't really think there is one. Let's see if there's an item. It did fall asleep after a sleeping powder after like the third one maybe, so I guess that could help. Let's see if we can poison it. Okay, well that's something. Ugh. Yeah, that weapon's going to be really useful for Waka as he gets stronger. Wow. Got a double turn there as well. Does it have a slow effect? No. Odd. There you go. So Waka proving that he's still useful, even though he's not front line anymore. He's still very much needed. But already there, I took some serious damage. So it's going to be a lot of this. Okay. First battle won in the Omega Ruins, officially. There we go. We can get some momentum now. I'm probably still going to go with the Poison Fang thing. There you go. Even Titus got a hit in. Things are looking up. Obviously sometimes the auto med is going to be a bit redundant, but can't always do it. I think his attack has a delay effect. Like, look at this strange order of events. It attacked Riku, and then Riku doesn't get a turn, but gets a turn after, and then it would have got a double turn. So it's a slippery bastard. Gonna make sure Riku stays alive here. But Waka needs some strength, man. Counter attack. Excellent. We'll see if Auron gets lucky. There you go. That's why he gets healed for 4,800 from the fantasy potion. It's getting a little bit of momentum here. If I can string a few battles together, then I'll probably be less likely to die. Even a game like Final Fantasy X, it can be a bit of a rhythm game sometimes. Okay. Right. These guys are quite unique in the sense that... Yeah, I've got so used to not really having to deal with elemental issues that I don't have... Where's her Victorious? Did I sell it? I might have even sold it. Holy shit. Okay. These used to be immune to senses, I think. Yeah. Bastards. Okay. Well. She has a phantom ring, so we'll keep her around for this one. SOS Null Blaze, maybe. And Orin, Fire Eater. Okay. I mean, I don't know if Pbirdman's made these guys non-elemental now, so maybe this is all a waste of time. I don't know, but again, we have the same problem. I think these guys had about 18,000 HP, something like that, in the original, and I won't be able to take them out in 3 hits. So this will probably turn into like a nothing encounter for me in that sense, because I won't be able to take them down. Yeah, 738. That ain't good. Just in case it's non-elemental here. Miss? What, this thing just getting bigger by itself? That it used that as a move? Whoa. Oh, okay. Healing each other, huh? And it hits everybody on the other side as well? Okay. Well, how am I supposed to outdamage that? Okay, right. So again, fire protection seems to be helping here, but these animations are just so long. Especially when there's 3 of them, it's like, okay. Ty's getting effed up here. Oh, he's got SOS Null Blaze. Right, perfect. Armor Break, obviously. We'll need to see what other moves they have as well. Like, that doesn't seem like it's enough. Oh, it's shrunk again? Wait. Struggling to follow. Let's see if that worked. It did. That's good. Cannon Blast. Non-elemental. Okay. Good to know. It's probably going to use Cannon Blast every time now. But yeah, the way that they're healing each other, it's not something I can really overcome, realistically. 3,600, did I just see? Whoa. Yeah, so if you don't have fire protection, you're going to get absolutely trashed in this battle. And is this thing going to cannon blast? No. I don't know when and how it decides when to do that. Okay, very interesting battle here. I just want to see if I can get a 3rd character in that has some sort of fireproof or fire eater or something. Try and keep them alive enough for that, but this guy's armor broken, but if I'm not doing enough damage, then I don't see what the... Because it's not something I can... I'm trying to think if I can cast a Reflect on it so that the fire spell doesn't heal it, but it doesn't cast it as a spell. So I don't think that's going to help. Oof. Struggling. Oh, it counters with Cannon Blast. Okay, fine. I could try and do something a bit weird here and Null Blaze these guys so they can't heal themselves. Maybe. Trouble is I can't use Orin to attack on this turn. See if we can keep Titus alive, maybe. It just depends. If they all use it, then it's impossible. I'm gonna use Zombie Attack on one that hasn't used Cannon Blast. Miss. What a strange battle. But I mean, even if one of them, if they do it 3 times, then like a single Null Blaze isn't going to be enough. It's going to heal for about 3,500 each time. 3,000. Yeah. I won't be able to outdamage it. And that seems to be all they're doing, so it's a bit weird. I'll probably have to play the ejection game, I think, here to be able to beat these guys. I'm not seeing much of a other way out. I do want to try reflecting one of them just to see what they do. We have to find a way to stop them from healing themselves. Okay, zombie works, that's good. That's what I need to find out. Reflect is not going to work. Yeah, it's definitely not working. Okay. Gotta have some fire eaters when you're here, man. Thank God Oren had a fire eater, otherwise this battle would have been over. Okay. We're gonna have to fire some Phoenix Downs at these guys. Let's see. Wait, it's immune? What? It's immune to proportional damage, I guess, but then I have to use like Kieron R or something. What if... I was going to say what if I use something like regen, but that ain't going to help. It's just not going to be enough damage. I guess the life spell, but that's still proportional, right? So I'm assuming maybe it's item proof. I'd have to test. What a nasty enemy. I'm going to speed things up here. I'm just going to eject a shot some of them because otherwise it's going to take forever. Oh, it's immune to eject as well. I think Pbirdman has put too many restrictions on this one. Either he wants you to come back here, but Omega Ruins is a place to level up too, so it's like... Either he wants you to come back here when you can hit like, you know, a good 6, 7, 8,000 per hit. Because at the moment I just don't... Oh, look at Oren's delay. This turned into a real mess. If I get a game over here, so be it. I need to... Oh god, it's got Reflect. Yeah. I don't know anymore. $5,000 damage you saw there, by the way. Oh my god. So it can use Cannon Blast. I guess it's just luck based as to whether it does or not. But yeah, this is looking like a game over. I don't even know where to begin with these guys. Like, I mean, if I can... Even Oren got taken out there. Oren. So, Pbirdman has made the Omega Ruins an absolutely horrible and deadly place. Like, way worse than I remember.